Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and this that you're seeing on screen right now is the Grizzly 3500 by BigDubz. Now, this is quite possibly one of the most highly anticipated console-friendly mods in quite a while, and really, it's for good reason, because look at it. It is a single-cab short-bed 2nd-gen Dodge, or it's based on a single-cab short-bed 2nd-gen Dodge, and there are so many options in terms of customization that you can essentially set this truck up to be whatever 2nd-gen single cab you would like. And without any further ado, let's fire it up, take it in the garage, and then, we'll go through the customization options, and we'll build probably a couple different versions of this truck so you guys can get a good idea of what all it can do. But let's also get a look at the amazing interior. Look at this interior. I mean, for a console-friendly mod, this interior is insanely detailed. But enough talking. Let's start it up. The gauges work! Check that out! And boy, does he have the turbo whistle down to a science on this thing. Now, straight into the engine options, you have a factory 12-valve, a tuned 12-valve, and an OP 12-valve. OP essentially meaning overpowered, over the top, whatever you want to call it. Now, the tuned version is definitely the one that I would recommend if you want a balanced experience, but also with like a lot of power, almost like a vanilla plus kind of game experience. But I really do like the OP engine tune because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily like, it's not gonna just explode and launch into the air the second you hit the gas. It does still drive in a balanced way. It just has a lot of power. And if you like a really fun to drive truck that is still really well tuned, I would definitely recommend going for that particular engine option. Now, gearbox wise, there's a lot of good options in here. So we have the factory 6-speed, we have the highway, then we have the hauling, and then we have the off-road. The off-road, I would definitely recommend if you're doing any kind of like, rock crawling, trail riding, anything like that. But the hauling one is the one we're going to put in first. Now, the way this build is going to work is we're going to build a hauling rig first and then use the DevTools menu to convert it to more of a trail riding rig a little bit later in the video after we've gone through the truck's hauling options. So hauling 8-speed first, then this is where we get into the suspension options. So you have a 4-inch lift, then you have a 4-inch lift with beefed up rear suspension for hauling, then you have the same in 6-inch lift, then you have an 8-inch lift, which is the one that's going to be your more high flex, trail oriented suspension, then you have the active hauling lifted, then you have the factory ride. Now we're going to do the active hauling lift, and this one is definitely suited to when you're doing more like just using it for work on a campaign map. Now, when it comes to the wheel and tire options, in terms of all-terrains, you have 35-inch, 38-inch, and 46-inch BFG KO2 all-terrains. Then it comes over to your sort of off-road, like mud terrain style tires. And then there you have a pretty good range of pretty much everything from kind of, MTs that you would see on the road up to like, agricultural tires like these. And then you also have kind of more old school tires like these mud grapplers, for example, and even a couple of tires that look very mil-spec inspired. So if we go down the list a little bit, you'll see these repeat as you go up in size up to that 46. And then you also have dually setups of the same tires. So if you're into building like massive dualies, whether that's for work or for trail riding, like full-size invasion type trail riding, you can do that here as well. And then all the way at the bottom of the list, by the time we get down there, we find the 46-inch Agro T1 duals, which are essentially for absolutely, as the description states, yeeting the mud. It really is exactly what it's designed for. Now, for the first round of this build, we're going to go with the MPT81 duals. And then we're going to throw the Haas winch on there, the power lockers, and the gooseneck hitch is definitely going in the bed. The front bumper is going to get swapped out for the RA front bumper. We're going to throw the RA rear bumper on there as well as the drop hitch. And then, let's see, front bumper clip, not going to worry about that. Then the bed tool add-ons, we have gas cans and Dubz job box. Then we also have the dually fenders, which are absolutely going to go on. And here's where it gets interesting as well. You have the factory like normal exhaust tip, or you have dual stacks. I definitely think the dual stacks suit the attitude of this truck really, really well. Lighting-wise, you got some cab lights you can throw on there, which definitely help complete the look. And then the tall snorkel we're going to add as well. You can convert it to a flatbed if you so desire. And then you also have a set of add-ons that are specifically dedicated to go on the flatbed if you choose to use that option. Now, this is an interesting interesting aspect of customization. So you can actually remove the back glass if you want to. You also have back glass tinted. You have the front windows rolled halfway down. You also have tinted front windows either all the way up or rolled halfway down. I'm going to do the halfway rolled down tinted front windows. And these wheels, I mean, really, especially on the dually setup, you really only have this one option, but they're a really good looking wheel, so I'm not really worried about it. Now, the color options are actually really well done in terms of texturing, and you can essentially make this truck look good in almost any color really in any color on the list. I think it actually looks really good in kind of like a dark blue, a deep blue. It also looks good in the dark red. And honestly, it also looks good in like an orange or like a desert tan. I'm going to go with the blue on this one, kind of like the darker blue, because I think that looks, again, really, really good. I think it pops really nicely. And of course, we're going to throw beans on the dash. And then now it's time to get this thing outside and get a trailer behind it. I always love starting it up because every single time that you start this thing up, you get to hear that absolutely glorious 12-valve soundtrack. So let me get this thing turned around. And this is one of those trucks where even if you're not the biggest fan of playing the game in first-person view, trust me, this truck will honestly make you really enjoy playing the game in first person because look at it. Like, it's just so incredibly satisfying. And the mirrors work, the rear view mirror works. I mean, this thing is, it really does have a totally realized interior view. And the tow mirrors, funny enough, they actually do the job that they were intended to do in real life, but in the game. It's like so freaking cool. So watch this. We're gonna actually watch the cargo appear on the trailer in the mirrors. Well, you can see it in the other mirror. There it is. But now, let's go ahead and go outside. So there's long planks on there right now. We've got 2 more units available. We'll throw a cargo container on the very back. And then now, we'll see how this thing pulls. So if I raise the suspension up, okay, so that's actually all four sides. I didn't realize it was going to be all 4 sides. That's really cool, though, how it's all 4. That tire in the back is so close to, like, touching, but I feel like it's not fully touching, it's just close. I love how even when you're on the OP engine tune, you still have to work for it. Like, the truck definitely feels like it's putting in the work. It definitely feels like it's got, you know, a job that it's trying to get done, even though it is on the most powerful engine setup. So you're definitely not feeling like it's flying through everything, but at the same time, it feels very capable. All right, straight into the mud. Lockers engaged before we get in there. This is going to be not only a really good test of its pulling power, but a good test of the tires as well. Easy. I feel like it's probably hung up on the trailer. That would make the most sense. So what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to lock the diffs and I'm going to go around, but I'm going to try to avoid flipping the trailer over because that's a pretty nasty angle. I think we could do it though. Yep. It's actually, wow, it's really well balanced and it helped keep the trailer nicely centered throughout the entire thing. That is genuinely impressive there. Genuinely impressive through all of that. Let's see, low plus, I would definitely prefer. See if we can get through here without bottoming out the trailer legs. Almost there. Ooh, leading the trailer quite a bit, but we haven't unpacked the cargo yet. We gotta be near the threshold of what it likes, though. We've gotta be near the... Ooh, we got ourselves into a spot here. All right, so with that being said, that guy's going to go to that winch point over there just to kind of safety tie the front end of the truck down. And, yeah, we're good to go now. I do want to see if it can make its way up and over these hills, though, because that'll be a really good way to gauge whether or not this thing is going to be able to make its way up and over some of the really large hill crests in this game, because those, as we all know, are the nemesis of long trailers. Holy smokes, I didn't even realize there was a dip there, and I also didn't even realize that the trailer was going to, like, tip as far as it did. Oh, I wanted to put it into high for its run up the hill, but I don't know if we're going to have enough oomph to get it into high. Or maybe not. All right. I'll get that front end down. There you go. It's fighting for it. Come on, lockers on. Yeah, I don't think we're doing that. All right, I just wanted to kind of find the limits of where we were gonna be. But let's say we remove both of those, we detach the trailer, and we delete that trailer, and now through some DevTools magic, we can convert this thing over to a trail rig in no time at all. Literally no time whatsoever. So let's see. I'm going to say MBT81. Let's see. Tire crawl. There we go. And now we're going to take the dually fenders off if we can find them. There we go. And then we've got, like I said before, we've switched to the 8-inch lift. We got the OP engine, and we're going to go to the off-road transmission. We're going to hit start to make sure it refreshes. And now we're going to start it back up, and we're going to head over to some proper obstacles. Look at the difference in the way that suspension soaks up the bumps. That is incredible. I mean, that's... Even when you're driving quick, I mean, that is almost some pre-runner stuff right there. I want to take it over to some of the more uneven areas. I also want to get rid of this gloomy rain. Thank you. That's a lot more, that's a lot more inviting to look at. All right, let's see what the suspension does over this uneven surface. Look at that. Bro, the way that suspension works is absolutely incredible. Look at the way it's responding, and not only how it's responding, but how fast it's responding. That's some top-notch suspension tuning by Dubz. That's genuinely top-notch. Now, I am going to do just a little bit of a run through the mud, and then I do want to take this thing up through the rocks before we head over to the bridge jump. But let's see how it does through a mud lane real quick. Not bad. High range in the off-road box is actually a really manageable ratio, like super good for stuff like this. Let's see if we put it in low plus turn the lockers on. Wow, the lockers really helped out like a bunch. I wonder if we swap over to the aggro tires, if that will give us a big advantage in an area like this. Let's see. Oh, actually, that was a big change. Wow, swapped over to the aggros, and we gained a whole bunch of extra speed. So, and even, wow, I even went to a really small size, and we still gained a whole bunch of extra speed. Okay, so duly noted, if you're going to take this thing, out into some mud, definitely go with the aggro tires. Although I am going to go with, let's see, not those. There we go. The large size crawlers, and those are actually on a nice set of Method Racing wheels. So let me go over to some of the rock obstacles now and see how it does in kind of a rock crawling environment. This thing seems to be really well able to pretty much adapt to any situation that you put it in. Literally, with the change of like solely wheels and tires, we went straight from being able to do a really great job in mud to being able to do a really great job out here in like flexy, rocky, trail riding style environments. That's like genuinely mad impressive. Genuinely like mad impressive. There are so many ways you could set this truck up. One of those being that you could flip it. You could be like me and you could flip it. But we're gonna let's see. We're gonna just rescue that truck real quick. Don't even worry about this thing over here. This thing's all good. It's fine, no problem. We're just gonna put you back on your wheels there. Nice and easy. There you go. There you go. All right, that's manageable. Swap back over, and we'll go ahead and give you a quick repair. Yeah, I will say when you're on that 8-inch lift, it does become just a hair top-heavy, but let's be real here. It's an 8-inch lift, so if you're expecting an 8-inch lift to not be top-heavy, you should probably rethink what an 8-inch lift does. All right, let's bring you up this rock obstacle. Whoa! Oh, dude, wow. And these are slick rocks, and that thing just had, like, grip for days. Absolute grip for days. You know, if it's that grippy on these slick rocks, that it's going to be incredible when you get it onto a proper crawling map like Desert Proving Grounds Stage 1 or TNB Trails or Desert Trails or any of those crawler maps. All right, so now it's time to head over to the bridge jump. And the bridge jump is, I think in this thing, I think it's gonna be loads of fun. Now, the dips obstacle we didn't really do because I gotta be honest, I feel like this thing would absolutely walk right through it, especially because of the fact that it is a short wheelbase vehicle that you can also throw gigantic tires on. Now, just to do it, I'm gonna throw that setup back on, and we're gonna go with the highway gearbox setup. We're gonna go ahead and refresh that, and we're gonna go ahead and bring our nice weather back. All right, so when you have the highway gearbox installed, you're talking about a very quick 8-speed transmission, like a properly fast 8-speed transmission. But even then, it's still not going to be so fast that it's going to break things. It's not going to be so fast that it's going to break the truck. It's not going to be so fast that it's going to, like, break your game or anything like that. And actually, whoa, okay, be careful going around corners with the 8-inch lift. I highly recommend paying very close attention. Whoa, okay, easy there. Easy there, bud. Oh, come on. Holy crap, bud. Easy there. Sheesh. I will say, though, that the highway transmission feels like it would be geared very well for a map or an environment like highway hauling, for example, where you'll be spending a lot of time actually out on the road, but you still need some mild to moderate off-road capability from time to time. Now, let's get you up the hill towards the top of the bridge. I'm really excited to see how this thing does going off the bridge jump. I don't know if it's going to clear the barrels, but I feel like it'll come pretty close. Get you up to the top of the hill, back into interior view. That way the camera doesn't glitch out. There's 7th. Come on, 8th gear, 8th gear, 8th gear. Where's 8th gear? There's 8th gear, I think. Dude, that stayed, like, perfectly level. And if this was bowling, it would have just, like, nearly gotten a strike because it hit almost every single barrel. But at the end of the day, this thing is an absolute masterpiece that you guys need to get your hands on and absolutely, absolutely try it out the earliest chance that you possibly get. Now, that's going to do it for this look at the Grizzly 3500. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to you guys later.